Too extreme for the small screen.
Gator, don't take my shit.
All right, you guys got to see this belt. This belt is gorgeous. It is a TNA Tag. One of my all-time favorite belts. One of my favoriteest belts of all times. You know, so many people are so over the moon for, I don't know, like the Kremlin or Crumlin, however you want to say it, the big golds. Big golds are okay. Only a few makers I would recommend getting a big gold from. And one particular maker is the person who's made a 2D belt for me and is currently working on a 3D big gold, a WWE textured big gold at that. It's the same maker that did this belt for me. All right, where do I start? It's an amazing belt. I love it. It's an XL version. It is not TV accurate size. It is... I can't really get a measurement. 4mm, curved. It is gorgeous. 4mm. It's curved. Very nice curve. Let's see if I can do it real quick. I don't think I got the regular video. Look at that curve. Is that bananas or what? It's pretty cool. But that same maker that did my 2D, he's working on a 3D for me. He did this beautiful masterpiece. There is a scratch, well, 2 scratches on the paint on the globe from Customs when they cut open the boxes. Yeah, it's heartbreaking. But let me go ahead and start the review. The leather itself, good. There's the name of the maker. It's right there. Top shelf championship belts. It is kind of stiff, and the reason it is stiff is because it's 60 degrees in my house right now. It makes it a little stiff. One trick that I've learned to loosen up leather is to let it sit outside, let the heat absorb it. Also, if you spray a ton of VLR by Mothers, it's a vinyl leather treatment. But back to the belt really quick. Top shelf championship belts. Sorry, my hair was bugging me. Top shelf championship belts. Amazing group of people over there. Communication is always on point. Always on point. Always there. Questions, actually messages you out of nowhere, you know, just to follow up with you. They will work with you payment wise. Everybody's different depending on the belt. But let's go ahead and jump into this. This belt is beyond perfect. I need to polish it. I've been showing it off. A lot of people have held it. A lot of people have touched it. The kids at my kids' school, have all held it and loved it. My wife, my family, everybody. Magnificent belt. Plates, like I said, they're XL. They're not standard. This one I forgot. I think is 11 inches on the center plate, which the regular one, the real one, is around 9 inches, 9.5. So it's a couple inches bigger, which is fine. The leather is very nice. Like I previously mentioned in the video before about the edging on the leather, and I want to get that in, is just amazing. Doing the varnishing is just amazing. Like, did the whole doggone thing. Just, oh. Like I said, that's what makers need to step up on. His name is spelled A-F-N-A-N. I say Afen. If I'm saying it wrong, please forgive me, but that's the way I say it, Afen. I don't even know where to go. Gorgeous, gorgeous belt. CNC, 24 karat gold. Everything. The tip, even though it's backwards, I asked for it that way. I know a lot of people want to say, the art's wrong on the main plate. It is, kinda. The reason I chose the art that's on the bottom, the top and the bottom art is different than the real one. And here's the scratches from customs. I got to repaint that whole thing. But the reason this is different is because I asked him to do it that way. Like I said, the same thing with the tip. I asked him to turn it around. Another thing that I was talking about in my previous video, let me see if I can scoot it down a little bit, is, do you see the plating on these tips, or sorry, these snaps? See how it's coming off? I don't know. They must get them in bulk somewhere, but that's another downfall when it comes to any maker. And I mean absolutely any maker. I mean, it's something you really don't see, so it's not that big a deal. It's just one of those things that always grabs my attention. And I've never seen a maker have any that have stayed 24K. I've had this belt for almost a month. Like I said, the grain on this leather is just amazing. I love it. I really can't say enough great things. Let me go ahead and turn it around for you guys. Here is the back side. One thing you notice about this particular belt, look at that, just like the WWE does theirs. But, you know, like I did on the previous belt, oh, I scratched the damn leather. Sorry, guys, it drives me nuts. But do you see how all the screws are not just like popping out? Because this maker doesn't use bolts. He actually uses screws, which makes such a smoother back. I mean, the last one, like I said, you can see everything like bulging out. This one is just, I truly can't say enough great things about this belt. Now, the one negative I have about this belt, the only gripe I have about this belt, and it's not the maker's fault, but this right here. All right, you see me snapping it, right? You saw me snap it? Look, it won't stay. The snaps will not stay. They will not stay. So I'm snapping them. You guys hear the click? And it just comes right off. You can't put it around your waist. This is going to be one of those shoulder belts. Again, not the maker's fault. He just gets the snaps and just installs them. I'm guessing he probably didn't even realize it. Because, I mean, honestly, how many makers sit there and snap everything together? That's my only bad comment I could say about this belt. And it goes to show you, you get what you pay for. This, I'm guessing, my arrangement with the maker is a little different. But I would have guessed the same exact style belt, I'm guessing, would be around $750-ish for this particular belt. The way it's set up, the 24K, the varnishing, the leather, the tip. It's a stacked tip. I mean, that's my guess. I could be completely wrong. Don't quote me on that. But like I said, you got those eBay belts that are a couple $100, and you're like, it's my dream belt. And I understand financially, if you can't afford a high-end belt and you've always wanted a belt since you were a kid, completely get that. And you just want the belt. I've been in the hobby for over 25 years in total. Collecting. I honestly didn't know a lot about these pages and stuff coming up until the last, I don't know, 8 or 9 years. But I've always had belt brothers where I lived in Florida that we used to always get together. I knew about some things on Instagram and a couple of things on Facebook, but not like what it is now. There's probably 50 to 100 pages on Facebook. Instagram, a little tougher. You got to be specific. But back to the belt really quick. Sorry, I'm just going off. I'm just trying to get all my information out there. Top shelf championship belts. A Fiend Chic did this belt. CNC, 24 karat. Upgraded leather or their standard leather. I'm not quite sure. I just asked him for the best leather possible. The grain is just gorgeous. It actually looks like he dyed the strap instead of just painting, which a lot of makers just paint the straps and the paint will crack off. This actually looks like he dyed it. Yeah. Not enough things I could say, just positive things I could say about this. Every detail he went over with me like a fine-tooth comb. He does that with every person he does deal with. He makes sure the art is on point. He asks you to review the art and say yes, no, maybe, kind of so. If there's anything you want to change, blah, blah, blah. But for my second review, I think I chose a masterpiece. I love this belt. I truly do. One of my all-time favorite belts. Truly, truly. And the funny thing is, I'm a die-hard official guy. Die-hard official guy. But the problem is, like, for WWE, for instance, you know, they gripe that makers are making them for customers outside the U.S. Well, if they would listen to us and actually supply belts, we would buy them from them. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, TNA, aka Impact Wrestling. I mean, the TNA Wildcat, which I have which is that one. You can get it from Wildcat themselves, and I think it's around $3,000. Andrew over at Wildcat, amazing dude, amazing dude. Done great things for TNA, WWE, or the TV Elites a while back. The belts that we're seeing on TV, even to this day, the network logo, Orange County Choppers designed it. Andrew over at Wildcat took over and made it. Great stuff. But if these companies, AEW, TNA, Impact, GCW, WWE, if they would listen to us as fans, they would make so much more money. And it's not that I'm trying to take away work from the guys that are overseas that are doing these. And, you know, their style of living compared to ours is like night and day. So, you know, they go through a lot of stuff to make these belts, like stuff that's harsh environment that us Americans wouldn't do, truly, some of the working environments, but they make such a great product. So it's kind of like a catch-22. You know, you become friends with these people, you talk to them daily, and it's like they become friends. So you want to support your friends no matter what they do. And in the same respect, your friends are doing stuff for you that here in the States you can't get. There are so many belts that the WWE could cash in. Just the 3D big gold. Oh my God. Money hand over fist. Like belts. The lightweight cruiserweight. The ECW big silver. I mean, the list can go on. And, you know, like the dual plated, all gold, you know, with the attached sidebars. Upgraded leather. I mean, just so many different things. And you know, we go outside of the States for custom belts or stuff like that. I could see that, but these companies, WWE, TNA, Impact, AEW, GCW, are not listening to us as fans. We want the belt. Yes, we will pay When the AEW first came out, it was $7.99, and then it went to $8.99. Yeah, I think that's what it is, and then they got a sale. But okay, so now I could go to somebody, certain makers, and it'll be like a $2,000 or $3,000 AEW, which you're like, oh my god. But it would be more solid compared to the replica. And the replica for the AEW, oh my god, is amazing. Which that's my next review, which is an AEW. Very excited about. But if the WWE and all the wrestling organizations would listen to us, they would make a lot more money instead of this work going outside of the country. And we just want to relive our childhood. That's why we get these things. Because, I mean, we're all a bunch of grown adults playing with toys, pretty much. But again, thank you so much for watching review. Please stay tuned, and I will have many more reviews coming. So stick around. God bless. And remember, be kind to your neighbor. And I know you can't read this. I love someone that has autism. I'm a big supporter in autism. All kinds of, birth defects, mental handicapped. It doesn't matter. Like, we support so many things. Autism is especially important to my family. What the whole world and the belt hobby did for my son, who had a brain tumor that was removed, thank God, and he still has autism. But I mean, just, we need to love one another. I've seen so many people say so many negative things about people, but we just need to all come together, because this world ain't jiving right now. Like, it's turning, but it's different revolutions. We got to get back to the way it was. I was born in 1980. My thought of growing up is completely different than the kids nowadays. If I would say half the stuff these kids say to my parents, I would have woke up the following week after they knocked the crap out of me. So the world's getting a little far, not loving one another like we should. But treat everybody as equals. Be good. I'll see you guys on the next review. And Godspeed. Later, guys.